let's get into it. Alright, so welcome to How to Upgrade Your Mindset to Ignite Your Life seminar. My name's Chris, I'll be your host this morning. Now, if you haven't noticed already, I am nervous, I am shitting bricks. I'll tell you why. Because this is something a little bit out of my comfort zone. I haven't done a face-to-face seminar for quite a while. Most of they've been webinars, so behind the laptop, and I don't get to see everyone's reactions, disappointment in their faces. So it's a bit more comforting behind the camera, So for me, I'm a little bit nervous, and I want to do my best. I want to give you guys some really good content as well, and I want you guys to leave here to sort of kick ass in the challenge and in your life as well. So there's a lot of expectations from my end, but I see that as a bit of a challenge, and I'm going to do it even though that I'm nervous. So a lot of people will be nervous before they do something, and I go, oh, I'm nervous, and they won't do it. But if we change our perspective on how we view things, that can really change your trajectory of your life. Okay? I know it sounds a little bit, but it's really true, because if we change our view on stress and nerves, then we can kind of change our actions and behaviors that are attached to that. So my job today is to give you another perspective on things. And I've got some dot points for myself here, because I know I'll rant along and, one point I might be talking about bread, and then we'll talk about planets or something, and then back to the seminar. So I need a structure for myself, because I know what my brain is like. And that's another thing as well with the webinar. I'm very structured. Everything is all to slides, I've got some dot points, and I'm ready to go. For this one, I want to be a little bit more freestyle, because I want to get the vibe from you guys, see where you're at, and what you kind of need to kind of improve your personal development, okay? At the beginning, the idea was to do like a more of a fat loss kind of seminar. I'm going to explain all about energy balance, like what calories are, how they work, how fat loss works. But as we kind of discussed it, it was more that you guys wanted to learn more about mindset, which I love. This is what I'm sort of really passionate about. So I will get to the point where I'll rant along. So just, let me go. On that point, before we start, and because I'm really nervous, I'm going to make a deal. We're going to make a deal right now. So I'm going to give you my best version. I'm going to give you as much content as I can. And on your end, you're going to let me slide with the ums and ahs. And if I stare into the abyss for a little bit, I'm thinking about what the fuck I'm going to say next. Just let me, let it slide, okay?
Everyone likes it.
Excellent. Alright, so thank you very much for coming today. I really appreciate you coming in and giving your time and your attention. Before we start, I know before I mentioned about phones, but I want you to shut it off a little bit, like maybe put it on sleep mode, make sure there's no notification popping up when you're scrolling, because distraction is a decision. It really is, and that's one thing that I've come to really learn and accept, because I'm so distracted by things. I've got a bit of ADHD brain, and because this is a new environment as well, this is a new room, I've never been in here, I'm going to be looking at, oh, look at that, that's so that's something new and shiny. So my brain, but that's a decision, right? So that's something, first off, we got to be prepared. So make sure there's no distractions. In the webinar, I'll tell people to turn off their phones and type in the chat, okay? So if I say that, it will just come out naturally. Yeah. The reason as well is because in the past, I've been listening to audiobooks or podcasts, and if I was distracted, I would have missed quotes or certain things, and they can really change your direction of your life. Again, that sounds a little wanky, but it's really true, because I was listening to 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a book, but I was listening to the audio, and it's one of the first books I've ever read on self-development, and I love it. I highly recommend everyone to read it. It's a really good book. I'll put it, everyone talks about atomic habits, but I think 7 habits of highly effective people is better. That's just my opinion. But there's a quote in there that said, most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. And if I was distracted and I was like looking at trees and birds and stuff, which I probably was, but I was really focused on the words that were coming in. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't have picked up on that. And that really changed the way that I understood people and how I listened to other people. And it really changed the way how I projected myself as well. Because a lot of people, they'll listen to someone in the conversation and they're more worried about their response or their reply. They're ready to butt in, you know, with their reaction. But if you sit there and just shut up, let them speak, listen to understand their perspective, it changes everything. So that's one thing that really changed my direction of where I went in life. So, yeah, this is the moment where you let me slide. Yeah, oh. That's my meme that I made up. That was a distraction thing, okay? So, literally anything. And that's me. I'm the woman in the back. Okay, so my intentions today is to help you create motivation on tap, okay? Feel more energized, and I'm going to help you create your goal statement, okay? This is something that I learned quite a few years ago, and I'm going to run through it with you pretty quickly, but you'll get the kind of gist of it, and it's something that you can use all the time. And at the end, we're going to do a bit of a Q&A. You can ask me anything. What's yours? What's your intentions? So I would like to hear around the room, because it's really important to set your intentions. If we do that, our frontal lobe turns on and we find the answer. If we don't, we get distracted and our brains will find a problem to solve. So we need to give it one. So let's go with you first. With your name first.
Julie.
Hello, Julie. What's your intention?
My intention for being here.
Yeah. What is one thing you want to take away from today to make it a good time?
Well, I never knocked back an opportunity to learn about personal growth. So I was just here to see what you had to say, and yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. So my intention is
yes.
to listen. Not just
Sweet.
reply.
See us later.
I can always learn things. So,
Cool.
yeah,
So you're really receptive of new information and knowledge.
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. Good to hear. Cool.
Hi, I'm Tracy.
Hello.
Mine is to firstly meditate. This is all new to me, Pilates, so get together. I saw a bit of your stuff like your energy and high energy. And mainly, I think you can give us mine is just to be present in everything I do, not fade out. And yeah, I think you're going to give us, some action steps.
Yeah.
Got in place and just maintain it.
Yeah. So when you say fade out, do you more like you're
if you I like to eat a meal, I won't eat it on the run. When you eat at work and you're sort of rushing, I like to eat something my full attention. I want to be fully present. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, might be walking outside, seeing the sun or whatever, but being fully
cool.
awake.
Well, it's good that you're aware of that, because awareness is the first step to change.
Yeah, because you can easily just drift off and, like I said, be thinking 1,000.
And the next minute,
just being
whole year's gone. Excellent.
Yeah, well, I find when I'm like that, then everything's so clear.
Excellent. Cool. That's good. Good start. Let's go with you.
Well, I'm Tamara. I met you all. Well, definitely mine was probably to, just learn something new, absorb as much information as possible, but actually the first thing that you said is the attention. I definitely probably am guilty of the response. So, jump into the response instead of, I do listen to a lot, but I definitely am the same. I'm a little bit all over the place, and I think I worry definitely more about my answer than actually sitting and listening to that. So that's already resonated with me. So that's
Excellent.
awesome.
Cool. Good start. Very good. At the back there. Hello.
Hello, I'm Michelle, and I was going to say exactly that.
So you have your reply already?
about the nervous situations that you were talking about,
Uh-huh.
and the stress that you take on board from that,
Mhm.
to de-stress,
Yes.
you
Cool.
know?
So a lot of people view stress as like a negative thing. To me, it's neutral. Stress is stress. Like stress is always going to come about, and people try and always avoid it. It's impossible. It's like avoiding negative people. It's impossible. They're always going to come in, right? But it's how we view it that we can change. We can change the perception of things, but we can't change the event or the challenges that we face. So if we look at stress as more of a positive view, then you can sort of change the actions that come and the emotions that come after.
And I had an exact experience with that this week with one of my uni exams. It was an oral, and I got there and I just had the most ultimate mind blank.
Yeah.
Because the people that we were sitting with before we went in were going, oh God, and I've just, they've done the dump on me, and I've just gone, ah.
We're gonna touch on that in a minute. Okay, hold that thought because we're gonna talk about that.
Yes, and that really impacted
Yeah.
how I performed.
Okay.
In a really,
Okay.
really way.
Cool. All right. We skipped you, Anthony.
Oh, hello, I'm
You gotta hide there.
Yeah, like how did we get out of this?
What's your intentions?
I guess my intentions are probably to give people something that they're not usually open to. So something like this is probably like really up my alley.
Mhm.
A lot of people find these things really, I guess the stigma behind it is really like, I guess negative, or it's like, it's not for me. I already know what I need to know. But there are so many actions, so many thoughts that you can perceive differently. And it's so good to get insight from someone else. And to be part of giving that to you guys or someone else, it's really good.
Yeah. Let's go a little bit deeper. What's like you said, everyone else, but what about you? What's something that you want to improve or
I don't know, I'm
work
really
on?
good at it at the moment.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, very deep. It's definitely taking in other people's, I guess, emotions and what they want. I'm definitely very goal orientated, so I can usually knock people over metaphorically when I'm trying to get there. I think I need to slow down. Hey. Yeah, that's cool. It's like full steam ahead. I'm like focused on one thing. It'd be nice to smell the
Broaden
roses.
a bit. Yeah, cool. Because
Yeah.
excellent. Let's go.
I'm Rachel.
Oh, Rachel. I've forgotten everyone's name, by the way.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm terrible with that. Look, I just love coming to these things and learning, and I think for me, I've always got a reason or an excuse to not be consistent and not have a really good habit, even though I know all the things, well, I know that I should, and I know what I should do, and I know how I should do it technically, but my issue is always probably like getting that really nice, strong habit as a non-negotiable, as I know this is actually for me. I've got like 5 kids and I'm like running my own business and all these things, so I've always got a reason to not.
Yeah.
And I guess I've gotten to that point where I'm like, no, it's actually about me for months, and I need to take responsibility for my health, for my children, so they see how, like practice what I preach essentially, like being in allied health. I tell all my patients, I say, oh, go to full Pilates, it's great for you, and then here I am finally getting my ass to Pilates. So it's more like, I know some things I know, but I don't necessarily back it up with for myself, and so for me, my intention is to make it about me for once, which sounds selfish, but
No, that's good.
it's hard to say that, like
Yeah.
when you're a mum or when you've got plenty of reasons to say no. So for me, it's, that's my intention essentially.
Excellent.
Give myself a kick up the arse, really.
Yeah, I can resonate, not with the being a mum thing, but I can resonate with being a coach and you're kind of helping other people and you're like, oh, I should really be practicing what I preach. Here I am having pizza and on the phone at midnight. Delete that. But it's easy to fall into that. Yeah. Next one.
I'm Ro,
Hello, Ro.
and my intention for being here today is just to learn something new, see what I can get out of it.
Yeah, anything in particular?
No, just to see what you have to say.
Yeah, see if I'm full of shit or not. Excellent.
Hi, I'm Holly. A bit like Rachel, I tend to put everyone before myself, and it was that time I just want to learn. I mainly want to I'm like a zero to hero person, get all motivated, and then I just lose it. I just want to like keep the momentum. And once I sort of fall off track, like, right, I've got some tools to get back on there without writing it completely off, and another year's on without, oh yeah, haven't got back,
Yeah,
accountability.
Yeah, excellent. Good.
I'm Robbie. I came here to be inspired by you, and I've just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, so I want to do it for myself mainly, and for my family.
That's powerful too. When you bring other people in, that's more motivating. Yeah, excellent.
I'm Simone. I don't have anything else to say because you guys have said it. Fill it in. I've got the same problem like Rachel, and sorry I forgot your name, Holly. Yeah, I was always putting everyone else first except myself, so I'm here to...
Bit of a trend then, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we always seem to put other people first for ourselves. Yeah.
She's 25.
My son's 28.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, same situation?
yeah.
Have a chat later.
It's very hard
Does
to...
he still live with you?
Yes.
Okay, yes,
it's very hard to pour out of a cup that's already sort of empty. You're kind of like pouring it in everyone else's cup, like the work cup, the career, your relationship, your son, daughter, cleaning, everything. And then you got fuck all left. And it is very draining. So you've got to learn ways to self-care. And that could be anything. And that, depending on how you, going a little bit off topic of what we're going to talk about, but depending if you're more of an introvert or an extrovert, it can really, depending how you recharge your batteries. It took me a while to learn. Actually, do you reckon I'm an introvert or an extrovert? Yeah, good guess. I'm more of an introvert, but a lot of people say that I'm more extroverted because I do these things, and I'm a gym coach, and I'm always very talkative, and I'm the class clown as well, but I'm a teacher's pet somehow. But I'm very introverted, and it took me a while to understand that because I would, go out to parties on the weekend, and then after a while, my friends and family would know, oh, Chris just needs to go home. But I didn't know. I just thought I just needed a break and I'll go again. But the more I learned about what kind of self-care works for me, the better I felt, and more I could sort of manage my life a lot more and my energy as well. So let's get into a little bit more. Who the fuck is this guy? So you probably want to get who am I? I'm a bunch of those things. I'm a larrikin. I like hiking. I like my jitsu as well. I've always been involved in some kind of like martial art, boxing, Muay Thai, anything like that. And I thought I was a fitness model as well once. But basically, we'll go through it really quickly. I was a carpenter when I was younger. That was my sort of number one job that I wanted to do. That was it. I was a chippy. I wanted to build houses. I wanted to renovate and make $1 million. But I've always loved helping people, and I've always felt really good about it. It was just like a fire in me. And as the years sort of went on, PT never really occurred to me at all until I was like 21, 22. And I went through a bit of a breakup, and then I started going to the gym instead of doing boxing. And then I just wanted to learn everything. I just went nuts. And just learned everything about training, about fat loss, muscle growth, nutrition. And then it went more into sort of like the mindset. This photo here is 4,200 meters above sea level. I was on top of a mountain. And that was a time in my life that I was fairly broken. Like, I'm a very positive, optimistic person. But right there was like emotions going all over shop. because I set this goal for myself because I was going through a bit of a really rough time. And I said, all right, I need to get the hell out of this country, go somewhere else and climb a mountain. And it's going to be my sort of metaphor of a reset button, like a bit of a, when I come back down, I'm going to be a new person, boom. And when I did it, I was like, all right, am I fine now? Like, good. That was in 2018. Ever since then, I've been just going nuts on self-development, and I've come to the point where I really want to share what I've learned with other people. I'm the type of person that I won't say anything or won't kind of coach it unless I'm pretty solid about it. Like I know what I'm talking about, I guess. I won't sort of venture off onto other things that I'm not confident in my knowledge about it. Okay? So that's Chris. Alright. So this is one that we really need to dive into, is taking responsibility of our own actions, not pointing the finger of blame at other people. So a lot of us will blame the environment, we'll blame like the government, their ex, their past, for things that are happening. A lot of faces popped up there with the past and ex. But we love to point the blame at everything else. And when we're nervous about doing something and people around us sort of feeling that they're sucking our energy, we are responsible for that. It's not them. No one can't drain you or make you feel anything. You can. You're the only person. You can give other people power, but no one else has control over your emotions and behaviors. So that's where we really need to take responsibility and stop pointing the finger of blame at other people on how we feel. How we feel is on us. I think that's a big one that sort of puts people up, you know. So next one, we're going to talk about motivation. I think the next slide. Maybe a bit more. So when we talk about, you know, blaming other people, it's very disempowering. And it's very empowering. If we want to take back power, we need to take responsibility on how we feel and how our emotions and our behaviors. So let's get into motivation. What is motivation? Give me an idea. What's your take on motivation?
Motivation. It's like a fire in you that lights up, that
That's exactly what I've written
excites
there.
you. Sorry?
That's exactly what I've written there. Yeah,
Excites you to take action and make you think, oh, I'm passionate about that, or do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a
It's like a
flame.
trigger.
Yeah, but it's really annoying because it comes up and then
Yeah.
it's like shit.
Yeah, you get flavour. You get like pockets of it, but you want those pockets sort of just to keep going, so you keep on that road, rather than fading in and out.
Yeah.
It's ability to know exactly what you want, because if you don't, I heard on the audio this week that I listened to a gentleman, a very successful gentleman, and he said if you don't know what you want, he's talking about business wise, then you won't do what you need to do, because you are actually working for yourself. But I also, and from experience, know that if you don't have a clear goal and you don't know where you're going, and when you do have a clear goal, then it's probably a good idea to regularly visit it, so that you can actually then know where you're going. Otherwise, it's like that intentional distraction that we're talking about.
Yes. And where attention goes, energy flows and results show.
Right.
That's a big one that I've come to realize, and it pops up in every sort of aspect of my life and career, is what you focus on grows. If you focus on all these negative people and negative things, what does that make you? It makes you negative, doesn't it? Not a lot of people like to hear that. They think everyone else is negative, they're going to cut negative people out. If you cut everyone out, you're going to be a lonely a-hole. Like, you really are. So you need to bring it back and go, okay, what do I need to change? You know, you can't be trying to live a life and trying to change other people. Back to motivation.
Yeah, well, everyone's responsible for themselves, really.
Yeah, taking responsibility. So yeah, it does fade away very quickly. And when motivation is there, then it's a good idea to get up and do it. But like you said, it's really important to set clear intentions and goals for your brain to focus on. Because if you don't, it's gonna go other places. It's gonna find a problem to solve because your brain is like a problem-solving machine. All right. So you need to give it something, and it's gonna do it. It's like I don't know if there's any conspiracy theorists here, but they'll find information to back up their bias because that's what they've put their attention to. They'll find information because that's what their focus is on.
And that's exactly what Facebook will do as well.
Yeah.
It goes to what you, it goes to your point of view. You'll never get a balanced view.
Yeah, and you can really change your universe just by changing your perspective. Universe didn't change, no one changed, you just changed your lens a little bit, alright? So yeah, setting clear intentions is very important. After this, we're going to go through my goal statement thing, okay? So get your pens and pads ready. And another thing about motivation is that we don't need motivation. We don't need motivation to do the things that we don't like doing. So, what's something that you don't need motivation to do?
Brush your teeth.
Yeah, or what's something that you like doing?
Gardening.
Watching Netflix or sorry?
Gardening.
Gardening. Yeah, you don't need motivation to do that, do you? So it's more likely you need motivation on something you don't really like to do. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if your goal is, say your goal is to lose weight and you hate going to the gym, find another way. Find something that you enjoy. Pilates. Put it in there. But find something that you enjoy because instead of the word challenge, swap it around for the word discipline because you want something to be lifestyle instead of just a short break. So if you focus on this 6 weeks, discipline, you don't want to get to the 6 weeks and go, I'm done, finished, and then carry on. You want to continue it. You want to keep going with Pilates. You want to keep going with your food and find ways that will be more of a lifestyle instead of a quick fix. Okay. So even though if you do a challenge and you reach your goal, but you hated the process, you're going to go back to square one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you really need to enjoy the process or the journey to get to your goal more so. Okay. Now, the third one is a lot of people will say they lack motivation, but in my opinion, you just lack energy. Your energy is shit. You're watching shit, you're eating shit, listening to shit, you're surrounded by shit, your environment is shit. Makes you shit. So you need to change that. So you need to change what you're watching. Stop watching the news. Stop looking at or engaging in negative stuff on Facebook and social media. What I do with my Instagram and my feed, I click all the cool things like Switzerland and hiking and like birds and stuff, you know. All like these happy natural stuff. That's what I want on my feed. And the algorithm will show you that more because, oh cool, Chris likes birds and flowers and stuff. So that's what I like in motorbikes and jiu-jitsu. So there's like a bit of a mixture of choking people out, motorbikes and birds. But it's all things that I like, right? I'm not trying to engage in negative things, all right? So, you know, changing what you listen to, what kind of music, change your environment, the people that you hang out with. Don't cut everyone out and maybe include more positive people that kind of lift up yourself. And another one is joining communities like this. Because we went around the room before and we set our intentions, all of you were pretty much on the same page. Hey, so you're already a step ahead, you're changing your environment a little bit, you're coming in here, you've already joined a challenge, so you're a few steps ahead. So you need to change your energy and you're gonna feel more motivated. If your energy is shit, you're never gonna feel motivated, okay? Sleep is so important for our energy. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. So our body loves routine, it loves a schedule.
Yeah.
So a tip that I can give you guys about sleep is setting a non-negotiable time that you close off your phone and you go to bed and dark and everything. Create the environment for sleep. And then try and have your, between 7 and 9 hours sleep for the night and wake up at the exact same time. If you have it in a routine and it's scheduled in, your body's gonna love it, it's gonna thrive a lot better, and you're gonna feel a lot more motivated to do something. I hear a lot that people are either a morning person or they're not. I think that's so shit. You gotta stop putting labels on yourself. Oh, I'm not a morning person. No, you're not, you just wake up tired. That's all it is, just you go to sleep and shit. So maybe if you, because most of the people that are morning people go to sleep at like 8 o'clock. And they wake up 4 and go, woo, and they're ready to go because they're energized, they're not tired. So you need to change your environment you sleep to feel a bit more energized.
Yeah, because if you go to sleep after midnight, you lose like 2 hours every hour and you can't catch it up.
I think before 11 p.m.
Oh, is it 11?
and 4 a.m. I think is the most
Probably is
important
11,
hours.
yeah. You never
That's
catch
where
it
you
up,
recover
do you?
and that's where you.
Yeah,
That's why I keep waking up.
Because we're humans, we're not like possums or anything.
Yeah, that's.
But it's true about, like you say, if you set that time, like since doing Pilates this
Body
week,
loves.
my times were all overshot because I'm doing 5 o'clock and going to bed, sort of 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
8 o'clock and I was waking up at midnight like I had 6 hours sleep.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, the day's not starting yet. So I just pushed it back a bit and
Yeah.
found that was worked better for me. You
Excellent.
still want to do stuff. Like
Yeah.
Come home and
Yeah.
So-
I've been following the sun. I set my circadian rhythm with the sun. So when I wake up, I try and get outside. This is a really good tip as well, and it freaking works. You want to, as soon as you wake up, try and wake up as close to sunrise as you can, and just get outside. Get outside. And get some sunlight on your face and your skin and your eyes, and it alerts your brain and it sets chemicals around. So yeah, let's get up and go. It's daytime, yeah. As the day goes on, you want to start to turn off overhead lights. You want to put them below eye level. If you sit in the office, if you're an office worker, you don't want to have your screen like this. You don't want to be looking down because that kind of sets your brain, oh, you're ready for bed because the sun goes down. So you want to have this above eye level, and it makes you're more alert and more productive. Okay.
I didn't know that.
There we go.
Yeah, wasn't it? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, try and watch the sunset. Again, that alerts your brain. Oh, bedtime coming up.
Sarah would be in bed at 7 o'clock if that was the case.
Frick, lately the sun is down at 5:30. I was like, better in bed. And it was like 6 o'clock, and I was like, things to do. So yeah, try and use the sun to your advantage and really prioritize your sleep. Okay. Flaming motivation. Yeah. So if you come here to find motivation, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give it to you. Like if I come here and go, yeah, fuck yeah, you can do it, just believe in yourself. You're gonna go, yeah, Chris, woo. And then you walk out, and then it's fizzled, and you're gonna go back to what you're doing. So I'm here to actually give you some practical tools to fix your energy a bit more, so you're feeling more pumped up. And when the motivation comes, yeah, deal with it. But if it doesn't, don't blame it for not being around or trying to find it underneath anything. Like, there's nowhere to be found. So stop looking for motivation and start creating more energy and more, like you said, more something to aim for, focus on, to work towards. Yeah, your environment sucks. We kind of went through that. But it's very true. You want to change your environment if you're feeling always drained. Maybe have a look at if you're extroverted more, if you're more introverted. A lot of people don't understand that. One thing I want to put out there as well, you cannot be ambivert. I've heard that a lot.
Not be what?
Ambivert. Good.
Bye.
Forget about it. No. So people, there's introvert and extrovert, right? But it's on a spectrum. you're always going to be more, say, introverted with a little bit of extrovert, or more extroverted with a little bit of introvert. You're never just introverted, it's impossible. You're never just extroverted, and it's impossible to be both, because they're two different things. Being extroverted, you have a higher baseline of dopamine. Okay, so it takes more dopamine to feel energized and motivated to do stuff. For introverts, we have a lower baseline of dopamine. So something like this, I'm going fucking straight home, ready to book, and because this is a lot for me right now, okay? Because I'm introverted. So you can't be both. You can't be just fueled by everything and drained by everything. It doesn't make sense. You're pushing and pulling, it don't make sense. So you're not an ambivert, you're either one or the other. So it's a really good idea to try and understand which way you fall, and then you can kind of adapt your environment like that. Cool. Alright. Where's the first one? Boom. We're going to go through this really quickly because we're running out of time. Actually, do you want to go through crafting your goal statement, or do you want to go through how to end overthinking?
Whatever you reckon.
How to end overthinking
That one.
Oh,
your
yeah.
statement?
Oh, I overthink it sometimes.
Because I think that's a big one that a lot of people put that like a label on themselves as a lot. I'm an overthinker. Okay, so we can do that if you want. Told you it's a bit of a freestyle. Do it. So the goal statement, basically in a nutshell, you're gonna allow yourself to achieve something. So a lot of people write a goal and say, I want $1 million. I want to lose weight. And that kind of puts it in the future all the time.
I like to allow myself to sleep well and awake fresh. Perfect.
At 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But it's giving yourself permission. It's not saying I want to wake up refreshed and stuff, because it's never gonna sort of happen. You kind of want to allow myself to feel or to have, you know? Does that make sense?
So instead of one, you could allow, you open it up to bring it in.
Yeah, you're accepting a little more. And if you, I think it was on the previous slide. Phrasing going into the future tends to keep it always out of reach. So free beer tomorrow, no one gets free beer because it's always tomorrow. Okay, so you want to have it as if it's already in possession. Okay. If you want this, I can maybe email it to you or something. I can send this whole thing to you. It's all okay. I do actually have a recorded webinar going through this whole thing, so I can actually send you the link. What do you think is the moment? We're having a great time. And I also went through some barriers that might pop up and how to kind of erase those layers. It can get really in depth. That's me again, and thinking. Okay. So, labels is something that I really detest. I just like when people say, oh, I'm an overthinker, oh, I'm not a morning person. We've got to stop putting these labels on ourselves. And there could be other words like procrastinator, warrior, is like maybe you're overwhelmed, easy as well. Does everyone get sort of overwhelmed pretty easy, or you worry too much? Depends. So, are you using these labels to justify your behaviours and lack of action? And a lot of it is, if you are overthinking, there's less doing. So if you're more doing, there's less thinking. Same again, if you've got something to work towards and you're doing it, you're doing some action to get towards, you're not gonna overthink things. So you wanna have something that you wanna focus on. So again, you know, to move towards or a sense of purpose, your brain is gonna find something to worry about. Could be the past, could be, or what if, or should have done that, or they could have said this. all these questions kind of pop up. So, where's my cursor? Oh, go back. Another thing is, everything happens when we make the unimportant important. We kind of think about things that aren't really anything to do with what we really want to do, and we make it more important. Does that kind of ring any bells? Any sort of...
Usually in the middle of the night, and then the next morning you wake up, why did I spend like 2 hours worrying about that during the night? And it's like,
Yeah, it's a lot of
the
energy.
most trivial thing.
So, another thing we can kind of replace overthinking with is guessing. We're kind of guessing things. We're kind of guessing what could happen, what could have happened. And usually when we think about the past, it's never accurate. Our brain will fuck it up a little bit, you know? So we kind of need to accept what has happened and work on being present. So these are kind of general questions that might pop up. How could I handle the situation better? Why did that person do what they did? What might happen if I do or don't do that thing? Will it work? Blah, blah. Kind of like myself on my right here, I'm like, fuck, what if I say something really stupid? What happens if, you know, I kind of mess up? This could happen. There's no point in me fueling that energy towards there because...
Hasn't happened.
Yes.
And then you make it, and like say, you make it happen by thinking about it.
Well, I just gotta do what I need to do, focus on what I have to do, and then whatever happens, it's out of my control.
Yeah.
If you guys don't like it, it's fine. I can't make you like me or what I'm talking about. I know I'm not for everyone, and I know, damn it, I wanted to say this before. But my job is to kind of challenge your beliefs, you know, make you feel a bit uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, you grow. I've never seen anyone's life change without them changing the way they think. When you're coming into this challenge, it's really important to focus on your mindset, because mindset matters the most. That's what I was supposed to say.
That's what I was doing in the class. I'm like, this is killing the first 2 days, and I'm like, stop that talk. Like, just push through it. But I heard myself going, this is canon.
We always have a
then
conversation with
I just switched it
ourselves.
off.
Yeah.
And then just went, I'll allow it, not react to it, and then that's
Excellent.
fine.
Yeah.
Because
Good.
I thought I am not going to go through, keep saying, I
It was
think
the
the first 2 days I was in shock, was like, man, legs are on fire, whatever, but yeah, just that on the leg.
Yeah, I can't do this and it hurts.
Just that it was burning, I thought, no, the
Yeah.
burn's good, and then it's going to pass anyway, surely.
Yeah.
Be on something else.
Yeah. And the same with like myself, like I started running again to get my fitness back up. And my first run, I was like, oh, this sucks. I am dead. I hate this. And I was like, fuck Chris, you sound like one of your clients. But I understand that there's no way that I'll progress in my fitness without being uncomfortable. Not a chance. You're not gonna grow or improve without being uncomfortable. You have to. And that's where you kind of like, it's not about being comfortable, uncomfortable. It's about sort of viewing being uncomfortable as a more of a positive thing. You're gonna grow from it. So another thing is, am I overthinking or am I just trying to guess? A lot of guesswork. A lot of assumptions about the future, about the past. Now there's a couple types of overthinker. Overthinking what's gone, what's done or finished. Does that sound like anyone thinking about something that's already been done? Thinking about the past too much? Why did that happen? Why did they do that? Why do I feel like that? You're just, again, guessing and making assumptions. It's not really serving you, and it lowers your mood a bit as well. So it doesn't put you in a positive position at all. The next one is like future-based overthinking. You're asking me questions sort of like, what if they say no? Sounds like this. What if you guys don't like it? What if you guys are annoying? What if I'm annoying? What if like the power goes out? Like all this what ifs, and again, it doesn't serve me, it puts me in a lower mood, and there's no point putting all my energy towards that. It's very exhausting, funnily enough, you know, like we always think about preserving our energy, but we use more energy thinking about worrying. So the past is just the past. This has been something that's already been done. Is someone that type of overthinker? You worry about the past a lot, or you worry about what has happened? Mm-hmm. Cool.
Well, I like to read. I think it is good to reflect on how you could do things better.
Mm-hmm.
But I tend to do that.
A lot.
And then rethink. Yeah, I can get quite historical.
Yeah, a bit overwhelmed with.
Oh no, just remember things from a long time back that I just don't have to. Why would you do that?
What am I doing?
I'm a bit the opposite. I'm more worried about like, oh, I won't do that because I won't have time, or you know, like gym membership, joining a gym. No, because that night I've got that, like, instead of just making it happen, I overthink. I've been like working out what timetable, where.
Bit of procrastinating.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of procrastinating. Okay. Okay, so most of us, I guess, are more like future-based overthinkers. A couple in the past. But the thing about the past, they're just events, and the thing that you can change is the feeling that you have with that event. The same with what happened with me in 2018 was shit, brought me down a bit, but there was a gift in there. There's always a gift in every situation. There really is.
You call it a gift, I call it a lesson.
Same.
Okay.
Gift, lesson,
Lesson.
knowledge.
You
Yeah.
learn something from it.
Yeah, 100%. But a lot of people use that as an excuse for why they are now, or that's why they feel the way, or I hate them. But if you focus on, and it's really hard to do, like I accepted what has happened and I was thankful. And it's really powerful to thank a situation or a person for an event because of X, Y, and Z, because I got to walk, got to climb a mountain, went to Malaysia, like ate some cool food, had the best night of my life, at a nightclub full of Koreans, and I had no idea I was the whitest person there, but I was having the time of my life. I learned a hell of a lot since then. I'm probably here, like I've learned a lot about myself and other people. So there was a lot for me to sort of more focus on than the action and being sad and negative. So you got to bring your attention to other things. Where attention goes, energy flows, and results show. Okay? Fucking love that one, and you can put that anywhere, right? So try it down. So, get rid of that. Oh, there. Let it slide. Say thank you. We went through that. So yeah, it is a skill to say thank fuck that happened to me. Like, it's really, it is confronting and uncomfortable for me to say thank God, like, she was a bitch. Thanks for that, man. But no, like, it's true. You've got to find those gifts in those kind of situations, and it's very empowering. It's so empowering to be able to do that. And it's not something that will just, you can just do it. It takes a bit of exercise and a bit of practice, the same as anything else.
It's usually when you're unemotional and not attached to it that you can then look over and just say, oh, look, I'm not, like, that's what happened, and this is the outcome, or this is what I've got out of it. But when you're emotional,
When you're
so charged up, you can't even, then that comes back to the not being reactive.
Yeah. A good thing to do as well when you do feel like that is to just pause. Take a bit of a moment, go, okay, I'm feeling like this, how would I rather feel like? What has happened? You know, that's not overthinking, that's more like analysing, taking a bit of a moment to be present, being aware of your emotions, and go, okay, I feel pretty angry, I'm more of the negative, lower mood. Where would I like to be? I want to be more happier, I want to feel a bit more energized. Okay, what do I need to do? More likely there's an action to that. When we feel negative or a little bit depressed, we kind of slump and we like everything's all drained, and we listen to sad songs. We listen to we watch a Notebook or something. I don't know, that just came out of my head. But if we change our posture and we think, okay, what do I do when I'm happy? Like, I dance a little bit, maybe I skip a top, you know, do something stupid. My chest is a bit more confident, you know. And actions lead to emotions, okay? So try and change your action to something that's going to bring more positive emotion.
So true, like coming to Pilates, those actions have just, I walk out here and I'm a lion. Does everyone else? I don't know.
Yeah.
That action, I love
100%.
that. Because I just fly. I feel like the last week I've just been real balanced and just.
Cool. This is the first week, isn't it?
I was saying the challenge, but Tracy's actual first week.
Yeah, I haven't done this before. Yeah, so I just feel like I'm just on this night.
That's awesome.
Not extreme and peaking up, but with my energy and stuff.
Yeah. And people
It's
wonder why
nice.
like they'll like slope and like watch TV and they wonder why they feel like shit. Well, because everything is down and you're not sort of bringing their attention to more positive actions for more positive emotions, right? So yeah, like your physiology, like your posture and everything will dictate a lot of how you feel. Where are we again? Yeah, so talking about looking at the past for the gifts or lessons and being thankful for those lessons. It is a skill. It's just like anything else. It's like a muscle, okay, that you need to work. For myself, because I've done a lot of these, I've read a lot of books and I can analyze situations. I've practiced all these. So when something comes up, like an event or a challenge, my mind goes boom. It knows what to do. It's an automatic response. Boxing, right? I've done boxing all my life, so if someone were to punch me, I'll dodge and punch them in the face naturally, because that's what I've repeated. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But it's something that I've trained, right? That's why when fighters get into the ring or not, they're natural. They've practiced this their whole life for weeks and weeks and weeks, so they know what to do when a punch is going to come in. But it might be not a punch that's being practiced or whatnot, but they're still in that natural environment where they've exercised the reaction. So if you put someone that's not a fighter in there, they're going to freak out and not know what to do. Same with the mental health, same with the mindset. You want to exercise the brain. It's like growing muscle. The biggest growth can come from the biggest challenges, which is very true. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the growth that kind of can come out of it. So you start to think of every challenge that comes your way happens for you and for growth as a person. So that's another one as well, like changing, instead of saying something happening to you, change it to have something happen for you. I mean, that's a play on words and language, but that helps with your mindset as well. So instead of, what's an example of an event? Traffic. Traffic's so annoying. So traffic. You can blame, traffic happened to you, but it happened for you. Yeah, exactly. You can sort of use it as life is happening for you instead of to you. Okay. Loving what is in advance, being grateful in advance, and being able to say thank you in advance for whatever is coming your way. Then it's almost impossible to overthink because you're accepting what's going to happen and what you can kind of control as well. You can't control events or challenges. Something really bad could happen tomorrow or in the next 10 minutes. You have no control of that whatsoever. But what you can control is the way that you react to it and the emotions and behaviors that come from that event. So addressing the negatives and positive means you'll not be one-sided. So it's what I was talking about before was being in like the neutral zone of everything, not being too on the positive or too on the negative. Everyone goes on about like positive vibes only.
We need black and white.
Yeah, but it's so impossible. If you're someone that's just gonna follow everything that's rainbows and unicorns, good luck. Like, because life is not like it doesn't discriminate anyone. So it's gonna punch you right in the dick. Like a curveball. When you least expect it. What else all of that? Punch in the dick. So if you stay in the neutral zone and accept positive and negatives, to me, how you view negative events and whatever is so important. I view negative as more of a positive. I know that kind of sounds a bit weird, but if something negative happens to me, I don't see it as negative. I don't see it as something that's gonna hurt me or destroy my life or whatever. I see it as, okay, what can I get out of this? What can I learn from this? What kind of lesson is there? What kind of gift can I get out of this shitty situation? Instead of saying, oh, my life sucks, you know? You want to sit in the middle and accept black and white, positive and negative.
But when you're, and this comes back to what I was saying at the start, whatever I'm saying. So when you're in good form, in your health, in your eating, in your daily practice of things you do, then you cope better being less reactive. But I found when I was in a slump, not like lack of energy from bad habits, then you are going to be more reactionary and therefore feel like shit.
So that's where attention is going, where attention goes,
now
it flows.
Yeah.
So if you put your attention to negative things and getting slump and being tired, everything else is going to be in slump and being tired.
Where this Pilates came in for me and it's really just woken me up.
Awesome.
So now if things came in, I've got the more energy to be more present and less reactive.
Yeah.
And that's where I always want to try to, that's what I'm trying to balance out, rather than up and down and back off and, you know.
But except that it's never always going to be balanced.
No.
You know what I mean? Like something really shit could happen tomorrow. It's going
to
and you might break a foot.
Yeah.
There goes Pilates. But then.
Delete that.
But
you're right, and then you have to accept that. No, thank you.
Well, you got to accept that life is really out of our control.
Yeah, that's right.
Like whatever happens, really kind of happens. There's one opinion that I love. For me, not everything happens for a reason. Things just fucking happen, and we put a reason behind it. It could be any reason you like. But like someone will say, like my fuel, I ran out of fuel. Everything happens for a reason. So like, oh, what the reason for me running out of fuel is. But for someone to say that, I would love for them to walk up to a kid that's having like got cancer or something, ready to die. Everything happens for a reason, mate. You know, what kind of reason is that?
Exactly.
So the powers behind accepting that you can put whatever reason behind anything you like. You can put any reason, anything at all. That is control. That is empowering. To be able to, you can control your emotions and how you deal with shit. Can't go standing still or overthinking. Another thing as well, like you're either better or you're worse. You're never the same. Some people say, oh, I'm the same. You're worse. You're not any better. So you need to do things to keep growing and keep learning, and like you guys are doing right now.
Yeah, you can't stop learning. If you think you know everything, yeah.
I know everything. So another thing as well, do it anyway. Like, even with this, nervous, I'm just gonna do it anyway. And whatever happens, happens. If it comes out positive, if I fuck it up, there's a learn. There's a lesson out of it. See? What could I do better to improve? That's how you're gonna tackle these kind of like challenges. Because it is a challenge. Oh, we're done.
But it will be.
Was quick, But no. Is there any questions that you have for me regarding like anything? It could be mindset, mental health, fat loss, it could be exercise, nutrition.
How many hours?
I'm Googling. Googling. But is there any other things like maybe food or?
Yeah, nutrition food, because like I'm sort of trying to, like, I do the juice and bring the more food in, but when that guy came out from ASN, he's like, your plate should be half, you know, veggies or salad, quarter protein, quarter fat on your plate. I don't know. There's all these different things come in. So I just
there's no best diet, is it?
Yeah.
There's just saying
Yeah.
the best
I
diet.
just do what I like at the moment, and it's
Yeah.
working for me because I know what my body likes, but not being extreme.
Yeah. It's really important to understand that, I guess, the fundamentals of nutrition and how it kind of works. Like I could be here all day talking about nutrition. But
It's a big topic.
you want to make sure that you are having enough protein, enough carbs, enough fats. There's nothing inherently bad about carbohydrates.
I'm not doing macros at the moment, I've got a macro app, so I'm not doing
Good.
macros.
Yeah, the carbs do not directly cause fat gain at all. It doesn't. There's so many there's so many situations where I can prove it. When I got down to like 4% body fat, I was ripped, I had veins come up. Not anymore. But I was eating a very high carbohydrate diet. So if carbs made me fat, then how come I lost so much fat and I was like, it doesn't make sense. So keep protein really high. That doesn't matter if protein is not just for muscle recovery, muscle gain or anything. It is, but it's very it'll increase your metabolism a little bit. So your energy, like, oh fuck, there's so many things. So
How much protein do you have? Would you suggest a day?
1.6 grams per kilogram.
What's that in English? So what's
Times your body weight by 1.6. That's the optimal amount for muscle growth and recovery.
Alright.
Anything more than that, it won't benefit you more for like muscle growth, but it'll benefit you more about increasing your metabolism. Your metabolism is just your energy output at one given point. If you ever see anything that says boost your metabolism, it's bullshit. Because right now, if I move around really quickly, I just boosted my metabolism because my energy just went really high. So metabolism is just energy output. Okay? There's a few aspects that you can change and one that you can't. Your BMR is just a BMR. It's your basal metabolic rate. It is what it is. Don't try and change that. It is, right? The first one is your TEF, your thermic effective food. So when you eat, you use energy to bind it, to digest it, and to get the energy out of food, right? Everything requires energy. So when you have like a shake, give a shake, it's good, but you missed out on fiber, you missed out on chewing it, and the digestion of it as well, because you already skipped like about 4 or 5 steps.
Oh damn, I had a shake this morning.
No, but it is a good way.
There's things in it.
Remember, neutral.
Oh, that's
Namaste.
right.
So yeah, keep your fiber up, TF, food, energy. Next one, so it's about 10% of your energy output. That's your metabolism. The next one is your EA, your exercise activity. So your purposeful exercise, your Pilates, going for a run, workout, doing 10 push-ups. That's your energy output. Very minimal, very small. So there's no such thing as a fat loss workout. You ever see that? Right. So, honestly, workouts are just a workout. That's why it's really important to find an exercise regime that you enjoy. Don't do a stupid little HIIT workout if you don't like doing it. If you really enjoy it, do it. If you don't, find something else. There's so many ways to skin a cat. The next one is NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is blinking, me moving around, using my hands to talk. When I was doing my comp prep, I didn't realize, but I would talk slower, I would blink less, and I would use my hands less in the conversation. My body would do that on an automatic response because I was giving it less energy. So knee is really important. If you're someone that is sitting at the office all the time and you're not moving a lot, try and do something that's going to improve your knee. Go for a bit of a walk, do some walking lunges, or something to the coffee. Come back. You know, keep moving. Try and I fiddle. I use my hands a lot. You know, a bit of, yeah. When I was at school, I used to like tap the. I was annoying. I used to use my pen.
Oh, not the pen.
Or like, yeah.
Oh.
That was me. But I used to spin around the chair and look over there. But I used to burn energy because, and a lot of people are like, oh, you're thin because you got a fast metabolism. No, because my needs is through the roof.
People in call centers, they ladies, you watch them and they go like that.
Yeah.
They just under the table.
Yeah. And then there's no like, someone that's larger than me actually has a faster metabolism than me. You might not believe that, but they do because they're bigger, they've got more energy to move around or whatever. So, need is really important. BMR is just your BMR. It is what it is.
Good. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, listen, stop it, I could go all day, but thank you very much for giving. Yeah, it was really good to have you guys interacting as well. That was awesome to make them feel a little more comfortable. If you've got any questions you want to come up, ask me, that's fine. I do one-on-one coaching, so if you do want extra coaching for mindset or that kind of thing, then I can sort of provide as well. Other than that, good luck with the challenge, and yeah, hopefully I see you guys very soon. Thank you very much.
Did you enjoy that?
I hate it every second. Can't wait to get out. Yeah. This girl kept talking. Scandalera.